Welcome to Fair Game. I'm Kristine Leahy, and I'm so excited because we've taken the show on the road to Charlotte for the NBA All-Star Game. We've got some incredible shows over the next 2 weeks, and we're starting with a guy who's been posterizing helpless players since coming into the league and winning the 2011 Rookie of the Year award. He's since turned into one of the best all-around players in the game. He's jumped over both a Carr and Pau Gasol, six-time All-Star from the Detroit Pistons, Blake Griffin. Thank you for coming. You liked that intro, didn't you?
That was good. That was
you
really good.
It? I want to start right off the bat, real serious. This is a controversial, super important issue to me involving Michael Jordan and LeBron James. I know this is important to you as well. Space Jam 2.
Oh yeah.
How do you feel about this?
I'm always for the remake, the reboot. You know, I feel like people kind of are protective of an original that's so good, but I think what's cool about it is you get to see what this movie is going to look like in today's world. So I'm a fan of it.
And have you tried to pitch yourself for a role to LeBron?
No, but I would love to take this opportunity to pitch myself.
Go ahead.
I've seen the movie over 100 times. I had a birthday party that was Space Jam themed. I think there's nobody else that deserves this more than me. Thank you for your consideration.
That was a really, really strong pitch. You worked hard on that one.
I actually did have a Space Jam themed birthday party.
I swear to you, I did too.
Really?
Yeah, I went to the movie theater and saw Space Jam with all my friends.
Oh.
Okay, so you are at the All-Star Game. Does this one mean more to you?
A little bit. You know, they all mean they're all meaningful. Obviously, proud to represent your team. I'm proud to represent Detroit, but having missed it for 3 years or whatever it was. It is special to come back, and it's nice to be voted in by the coaches. I feel like that kind of means a little bit more.
I think a lot of fans have this perception that during this time, All-Star Weekend, you guys are all talking about the super teams that you're going to create and talking about where you guys want to go, but we know that doesn't happen until the off season.
Yep.
So what are you actually talking about this weekend?
Honestly, I feel like you're not even around the players that much. Everybody's I was just with Kemba and Steph today, but we line up and they introduce us, and then you're off doing different things at different courts. You don't really get to sit there and talk with guys. On Sunday during the game, you get more time, but even practice, everybody's mic'd up. There's cameras everywhere. You're not just sitting around with the players.
So you're saying you're not friends with anyone that's here?
I don't know a single player.
Okay, you don't talk to them in the off time, get dinner together? Yeah,
a little bit, but I think guys more so this time of year, it's not really everybody's kind of focused on their own teams, their own stuff. I feel like that type of stuff happens, personal conversations off the court, whenever it is.
Not once has a guy been yo, Blake, I think we should try to both go to such and such team together this off season.
At All-Star?
Yeah.
There's been initial small conversations at times, but nothing crazy.
That's just what I was looking for.
Nothing
just admit
crazy.
A little bit.
Nothing crazy.
No player has ever won the dunk contest and the three-point contest. You're a really good shooter. Did you give the three-point contest any consideration? I
did not. They didn't ask me either, so I didn't give it any
You
consideration.
couldn't lobby to be in it?
I guess. I feel like I want to get my three-point percentage up a little bit before we go on there. But that's kind of a goal of mine, maybe.
Oh, maybe next year.
Maybe, or 2 years, whenever.
Okay, I actually really like your shot. When I'm watching a game and I see you shoot, I forget that you can shoot so well, but your form is even good. Usually big guys have kind of weird
It's been a long process. I don't know if you remember back in 2010, 11, I didn't shoot very much, and I hired a shooting coach, completely rebuilt my shot, and it was very, very frustrating, but now having done that, it's a blessing.
I gotta tell you, we had JaVale McGee on the show. He still thinks that he was robbed in that dunk contest, and he said it was rigged.
I don't think it was, it wasn't rigged because I was a part of it, but I think one thing that people are forgetting, several of his dunks, it took him till the end of the shot clock or whatever you get.
He barely made
So
it.
in the moment, it takes away from the effect of the dunk. But when you watch the highlights and they're just showing the made dunks, it looks better. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So if I go and I do this crazy dunk, but I miss it 12 times, the audience and the judges are kind of sitting there okay. And then when you do complete it, it takes away from the wow.
I see what you're saying.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, he could say that, but.
Well, so this year, had Giannis not traded Ben Simmons to LeBron, you would have been on the same team as Ben Simmons. Awkward?
No, no,
No?
no. I've never
That
had
would've
a
been
problem
cool?
with that. Yeah.
Okay. January 13th, your first game back against the Clippers. I was there. I was sitting right between the benches. So I got to hear everything that you were saying. I've got to say, I've never seen you so angry in my life.
You just haven't sat close enough to the floor.
No, I've seen you before on the floor. You were real angry, and there were some words that were kind of coming out of your mouth. Do you care to share with the rest of the world who couldn't hear what I heard?
No, you know what? Stuff like that stays on the court.
Or on the mics that pick it up.
Yeah, but I haven't seen any footage of it, so.
Statistically, you're having one of your best seasons. But after the trade, some people said some pretty harsh things about you.
Yeah.
You remember them?
Can
Can I remind you?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, I want to remind you what people said, okay? You give me your reaction. Isaiah Thomas on Inside the NBA, he said, he was an all-star. He's not an all-star now. That's just real talk. He hasn't been one of them.
Well.
Look at you now.
Here we are.
Look at me now. Bill Simmons, he is no longer LOB City. He is barely above the ground city.
Bill Simmons has never been like a supporter of mine, so that doesn't really surprise me.
Okay. Stephen A. Smith, Blake Griffin is not going to make that huge of a difference.
Same as see the answer for Bill Simmons and replace that for Stephen A. Smith.
Colin Cowherd. He was the best 1992 NBA player in the league today. He can't shoot. He's real athletic, and he never adapted.
Kind of proving my point, but go ahead.
Okay, I got one more. This is my personal favorite. Skip Bayless. I never liked Blake Griffin. I'm on record. The Clippers gave him an outrageous albatross of a contract.
Yeah. Skip Bayless, when I was coming out of college, said I was a poor man's Dennis Rodman. I'll never forget that.
Does that stuff motivate you, or you just
Not
don't care?
really. I don't care what's like. They got to say like crazy stuff. They have to take they have to have these hot takes, and like that's what like in today's world, that's what like keeps them relevant. So it doesn't like motivate me.
Back to Fair Game. I'm Kristine Leahy here with NBA All-Star and Broad City guest star Blake Griffin of the Detroit Pistons. It is time for First and 10. First thing you'd say to a LOB City reunion one day. Let's say you guys got to be in a room together for an hour with no entertainment. You just have to sit there and talk.
Yeah, it'd be fine.
You would.
I think a lot of people like tried to make that it was like this huge like toxic situation.
So you and Chris and DeAndre are all BFFs?
I wouldn't say we're BFFs, but
Okay.
we're not like I don't think we all hate each other.
You don't think?
No, I mean we don't.
Okay, cool. First SNL cast member you would call the GOAT.
I really like Will Ferrell, but yeah, I would say Will Ferrell.
Okay. First thing I'd find in your Google search history.
Oh.
The truth. The blushing is giving me a lot here.
First thing you'd find.
I've gotten very honest answers with this one. You can go ahead.
I have like, it's probably just like weird, like random stuff that out of context doesn't really make sense. The last thing I Googled was probably, it was like something like Detroit to Charlotte flight time or something like random like that.
Yeah, that's fair.
I do that all the time. Like any city I'm going to, I always want to, there's a website called Travel Math. It's really good if you're into like flight times and stuff.
Okay, why are you so concerned about the flight times, Blake?
I don't know. I just like transit is a weird thing for me. I always like to know exactly how long it's going to
Okay,
take.
it's not like, I know I'm going to land at this time, so I have like...
Yeah, I just always like to know.
Okay.
It's weird.
All right, I feel like there's more to this story. First thing you'd say to Doc Rivers if he walked into this room right now?
Hey.
And that's it.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay. First thing you'd say if you were offered a job on Inside the NBA when you retire?
I'm good.
First player you would have picked if you were one of the All-Star captains?
Probably Katie.
First reaction to a teammate asking if it's cool to date an ex?
Yeah, sure.
You don't care?
I mean, I feel like it probably depends on the ex, but like, yeah, I don't care.
Okay. So Derek Fisher just cool?
Well, that's kind of a different situation. Like that was like
It's an
a
ex.
wife. That's a wife, ex-wife.
That's an ex.
I've never been married, so that's a little different. No,
Okay.
I mean, if it's like an ex-wife, yeah, probably that's a no-go.
Okay. First thing you miss most about Los Angeles besides family, friends, and the weather?
thing I miss most, besides family, friends, and weather. Probably like like my favorite like restaurants and stuff like that.
Craig's.
Craig's, yeah.
Shout out to Craig's.
Yeah.
First comedian you met you were in awe of?
Dave Chappelle.
First time in the NBA you really enjoyed dunking on someone, probably more than you should have.
I really enjoyed the Kendrick Perkins one just because he was such a like tough guy. You know what I mean? He was like
Yes.
a great defender and like always kind of like was extra physical. So you know it's nice to get somebody back.